This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. Now, I know traditionally the birthday boy or girl is someone who's actively living, but because January 19th didn't bring us any good people who are alive, I decided to go a different route. So, everyone knows about Junior Seau, one of the best players in San Diego Chargers history, and also in his Patriots history too. I mean, he was a 10-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro, 12-time Pro Bowl selection, and a member of the 1990 All-Decades team. And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer since 2015. But he was born January 19, 1969, and would have been 53 years old today if he was still alive. There's a reason why he's dead, unfortunately. Anyhow, so Junior Seau was the fifth child. All that of a big family. Graduating from high school, he went to the University of Southern California, which is a very fine school. He unfortunately could not play football in his freshman season because his SAT score was short of the minimum score for freshman eligibility. Seau told Sports Illustrated, "I was labeled a dumb jock. I went from being a fourth sports star to an ordinary student at USC. I found out who my true friends were. Nobody stuck up for me, not our relatives, best friends, or neighbors. There's a lot of jealousy among Samoans, not wanting others to get ahead in life. And my parents got an earful at church. We told you he was never going to make it." He did apologize later on, but that's all right. You can figure. So in his final 2 years with USC, he got 19 sacks, which was en route to his unanimous first-team All-American selection. So he entered the draft after his junior season and was chosen in the first round by the San Diego Chargers, 5th overall. Amazing how he went 5th. He was known as the Tasmanian Devil, and he was a San Diego icon, sports icon. So in the Indianapolis Colts had the number 1 pick. They actually traded with Atlanta and took Jeff George from Illinois. That didn't go over so well. The Jets took Blair Thomas 2nd overall from Penn State. Penn State was known for turning out good running backs, but unfortunately in the 90s, not so much. Seattle, with their pick, Seattle and New England made a big trade. Seattle traded up to get the 3 slot, and New England traded down to get number 8. Seattle took Cortez Kennedy, a defensive tackle from Miami, so Seattle won big. And Tampa took Keith McCants, linebacker from Alabama, 4th. Not bad. San Diego took Junior Seau from USC, 5th linebacker, and the Bears took Seau's USC teammate Mark Carrier, free safety, next. Anyway, he played 15 games in his rookie season and was named an alternate to the 91 Pro Bowl. In 92, he would be named to the Pro Bowl, first of 12 times consecutively. He was even given the NFL's Top Defensive Player Award, the George Halas Trophy, by the Newspaper Association, and the AFC Defensive Player of the Year by UPI, United Press International. For the next 11 seasons, he was a Charger, and he never had a season in which he played less than 13 games. Amazing. Seau was named Defensive Player of the Year in 94, helping his team shock the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC title game to get to Super Bowl 29. Sadly, though, San Francisco crushed him, and he actually had a pinched nerve in his neck playing that game. He did well for San Diego. He was Mr. Charger personified, all that. Unfortunately, Seau was then traded in 2003 to the Dolphins for a draft pick. He played 15 games for the Dolphins and was a pretty good player. By 2004, he had terrible pectoral muscle, didn't really play. He had an Achilles tendon injury. So for 2 seasons, he was okay for Miami, but injuries would ruin him. He decided to retire. He was moving on to the next phase of his life, August 2006. Sadly, though, it would only last 4 days. He would sign with the New England Patriots. and started 10 of the first 11 games for the Pats. Unfortunately, he got injured. All that. But he came back for the 2007 season with the Pats to play for them, making sure that he would be a Patriot legend, one of the Patriots' 7 captains. He was prominently contributing to the Patriots with their undefeated regular season. He only started 4 games, but he came off the bench and did pretty well for himself. He did play a couple of playoff games, but didn't start against the Giants in Super Bowl 42. He should have. Anyway, they re-signed Seau after a rash of injuries and all that. He kept trying 1-year deals and all that, not really playing a lot of games, but he decided to retire in 2010. So he played 4 seasons for New England. I thought he played more than 4 seasons for the Patriots, because not. Yep, so his career from 1990 to 2009, he played 268 games. He had a lot of tackles, a lot of pass deflections. He had, he had 18 interceptions in his career and 56 sacks. He actually owned a restaurant in Mission Valley, California. Unfortunately, though, it closed 2 weeks after his death, so that was not good and all that. Seau was actively involved in community work through Samoan projects, like Samoans. He started a foundation to help young people through the support of child abuse prevention, drug and alcohol awareness, recreational opportunities, anti-juvenile delinquency efforts, and educational programs. So anyway, Seau actually had his son out of wedlock, and he married Gina DeBoer and had 3 children together before divorcing in 2002. Seau's son Jake actually played for Duke and lacrosse, and then signed with Major League Lacrosse in 2019. Seau actually had injuries when his SUV plunged down a cliff in Carlsbad, California, hours after he was arrested for domestic violence. Fortunately, though, he was not charged in the domestic incident. Seau's nephew committed to play at Nevada and was actually an undrafted free agent for the LA Rams and the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, his death was terrible. In May 2012, his girlfriend found him dead with a gunshot wound to the chest in Oceanside. He left no suicide note, but did leave a piece of paper in the kitchen of his home with lyrics he scribbled from his favorite country song, Who I Ain't. The song describes a man who regrets the person he's become. And with this death, it was huge. It recalled the suicide of Dave Dorson of 2011, who shot himself in the chest and left a suicide note requesting that his brain be studied for brain trauma. Seau had no reported history of concussions, even though he did have some concussions, because he always bounced back and kept on playing. He's aware that didn't stop him. Unfortunately, Seau would have insomnia for a long time, and he was taking Ambien for sleep disorders. The autopsy report would say that his body had no illegal drugs or alcohol, but had traces of Ambien. No signs of brain damage were found, nor was he determined to exhibit mood swings or irritability with concussions and brain damage. But they actually suspected that he had brain damage due to CTE, a condition with concussion-related brain damage with depression as a symptom. And lots of people had CTE and all that. Unfortunately, his body did have CTE issues and all that. He had a great legacy for the Chargers organization and all that. His number 55 retired by the San Diego Chargers. Well, obviously, I think you would love to say that. Seau was eligible for election in 2015. And he got elected to Pro Football Hall of Fame. It wasn't meant to be. Well, a lot of people said his death accelerated his thing for his chance to be the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But no, because he retired in 2010, his 5 years were up in 2015 to be having all that. Now, there was a policy of not allowing speeches for deceased inductees for a while. And Seau's daughter Cindy was supposed to do it. However, Cindy was allowed to speak on stage for 3 minutes, uninterrupted on the NFL Network. All that. Seau became the first player of Polynesian and Samoan descent to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And ESPN even did a 30 for 30 about Seau in 2018. So it's so sad about him dying like that. You just can't imagine. But, he left behind a legacy that CTE can cause a lot of troubles and all that. He was a church's icon. I know he played for the Patriots, but still, he didn't win a Super Bowl with the Patriots, so whatever. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.